This is Meltdown Live, presented by MyBookie.ag. Use code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag for double your initial deposit. You sign on to make a deposit, they double it with code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag.
Welcome in. We are broadcasting here live from the Culver studio. I am Tim Melton, and we have a fun holiday-themed Meltdown here for you today. Once again, thank you for being a loyal Meltdonian and subscribing and hitting that thumbs up button for us here on the live stream. We really appreciate that. Tons of great content out for you all Thanksgiving long. Maybe the family's taking you to go see Wicked and you want to see our review. It is up for you. Or maybe you're able to sneak off and see Gladiator 2 sometime over the holiday. That review with Lance Taylor is also up right here on the Meltdown channel. And we will soon have a Moana 2 review up for you to enjoy while you're eating those Thanksgiving leftovers. Once again, I am Tim Melton. That is Tyler Lionel Johns here with us yet again. Tyler, the hardest working man in all of Birmingham show business.
It honestly might be safe to say.
Maybe safe to say, but I don't want it to seem, like I'm condensing that at all. I do mean it as a compliment because you're running from room to room constantly. And I think if there's anybody who deserves a Thanksgiving break here, it is Tyler. And I hope you're able to enjoy it somehow and unwind a little bit over the next 24 to 48 hours.
I will. I'm not going too far away from here to see some family. And also, for once, I am glad that there are no more new releases this week. I have seen everything in theaters except for the Bollywood movies. So I'm good for the rest of the week. I've seen everything there is to see at the moment.
You should be set. We know you're not going to see Wicked again for a second time, so that's not going to be any sort of concern at all. Tyler, we have both seen Moana 2. We saw it yesterday. It officially opens wide today. Yesterday were the Tuesday previews. Moana 2 is projected to earn between 135 to 145 million over the 5-day Thanksgiving weekend, which would set a new holiday record over Frozen 2. My theater,
Frozen 2's records have just been getting smashed lately.
Yes, they have. That is exactly correct. But I went to an open caption screening of Moana 2 thinking that it would limit the amount of kids in my theater if there was a bunch of reading happening on the screen.
That's good thinking.
I was wrong. It was full of children that were screaming at the screen, Moana, Moana, or Maui, or I don't think a single one of them yelled Maui. They were all yelling Moana. And that's fine, right? I mean, I'm in a kid's movie. I have a child of my own, so I'm understanding that there's sort of this fandom that goes along with being a kid and seeing your characters up on the screen. And so I don't hate it at all. But they were also like coughing and sneezing and hacking and crying. And I mean, it was like I was in a pediatrician's waiting room compared to a movie. And so I just, summed it up as it's the holiday season and I'm going to be in a good mood about this while getting sneezed and coughed on. So anyway, that was my experience with Moana 2. We'll have our full spoiler review out, but Tyler, I think we both appreciate this film for different reasons. I think you're fresh to the Moana franchise and you are a sucker for like cute animals on screen.
Oh yeah, you put some funny animal characters, some animal companions for the main character, and that's going to be my favorite character.
Well, you get plenty of that in Moana.
Oh yeah.
And I think this is a movie that is made for kids and hits the younger the kid, the more they're going to enjoy this. I think.
Agree.
Like preschoolers, kindergartners, first graders, they're going to eat this thing up. And I'm not any of those. I'm a big, giant, bearded man in the back that's become a little bit more cynical over my lifetime. And I still thought it looked really good. I just think it's paper thin when it comes to the story. And I don't think it really does much to expand narratively anything in the Moana universe. But anyway, it's out there. It's going to make a ton of money and it's going to be a crowd pleaser for kids, especially. We have a special guest in studio with us today, making his return here to Meltdown 2.0. That is Jeff Roberts. Jeff, I'm so happy you're here with us as it is the Thanksgiving season and you did such a nice thing by inviting me over to your home for Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And then I politely declined a couple of days later
Yep.
because we have other plans. This is a thing that happens to a lot of people, but you've been very understanding
Oh,
that
yeah.
we have other journeys to partake in. But if that cancels, is it too late to come
Oh,
join you?
no, absolutely. Come on.
Okay, we'll see if that holds up. How was traffic coming into the studio here currently? Because AAA says this is the worst time to be on the road, the time where we're doing this live right here. AAA projects a record 71.7 million people will travel by car over Thanksgiving. How were the roadways when you were on your way in?
It was not bad between my house and here, but everywhere else I went earlier today, it was busy.
Yeah, and 280 is always bad,
Yeah.
regardless. But you throw in all the Thanksgiving rush and people trying to get those final dinner plans and everything, and it's going to be a mess out there. So stay safe on the roadways. And I'm doing the smart thing. I'm traveling on Thanksgiving Day, which AAA says that's the way to go. Travel
Okay.
on Thanksgiving Day because there's less people on the road.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that works. In your opinion, Jeff, is Thanksgiving a top 3 holiday?
Yes, absolutely.
What are your top 3s?
I would say probably an easy answer here is gonna be, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Easter, and that's mainly just because you get to see family and you get to eat and all those.
Okay. Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Easter. We've spent, Jeff, every Halloween together for the past 10 years. And you did not pick
That's
Halloween
true.
as one of your
Why do you
favorites.
think?
Uh, no, we get
Tyler.
together and eat there too, so that's a good one.
Tyler just destroyed me right there. No one even noticed it. Tyler just like, why do you think he didn't pick it? Because he's hanging out with you in some golf cart going around the neighborhood. You didn't pick Halloween. That's our time together.
That's true.
Can you understand why I would take that
Yeah,
personally?
yeah, you shouldn't though.
Okay. I'll try not to. This year at Halloween, you had a really cool, like it was a picture frame that was interactive. You walk up to it and this little girl jumps out at you
Yeah.
and scares you pretty badly. And we had trick-or-treaters that would come up and you would entice them to go to the picture frame.
Yep.
You like scaring children because Moana 2
Yeah.
could be the theatrical experience for you.
Oh, okay.
Because there's plenty of
There's some
potential
jump scares in Moana?
potential victims in there
Oh, okay.
that you
Oh,
could
yeah,
scare.
gotcha. I
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah, not I only like to scare kids that I know,
Oh, okay. Well, that's
or maybe in small groups coming to our trick or treat.
yeah,
I don't
well,
wanna scare a roo whole, theater full of kids. That's
Jeff, you have a weird relationship with horror and with scary things
I
because
do.
you like it, but only to an extent.
Yeah.
And I know we talked about Smile 2, a movie that has eluded me. It's a movie that Tyler kept going, "You need to go see Smile 2, you need to see Smile 2."
Yeah.
And I kept saying, "No, I'm waiting for my brother-in-law and my sister. We're gonna go all watch it together." And I
You
said this
did
over
say
and
that.
over. And then I get a text from my sister saying, "Hey, you shouldn't see Smile 2, it's a little rough." And I'm like, "We were supposed to see this together. I've been holding off on this, and now I can't see Smile 2 anywhere, but you say that it's maybe not something that you fully loved."
Yeah, it's not really my bag. It's very uncomfortable. If that's the kind of movie you like, then you'll like it, but, it's not I'm more of a I like jump scare horror, I guess.
Yeah. I'm gonna check it out sometime very soon. It's on digital now, and I'll figure out a way to watch it
Yeah.
very soon. What are you cooking for Thanksgiving tomorrow?
We have, a turkey and a spiral ham and about 5 casseroles, but I actually didn't cook any of it this year.
What? You're a fraud.
Yeah,
You hold on. For those that don't know, Jeff is he's an absolute master in the kitchen.
yeah. I do
And
like to cook.
you're telling me that for all of this grub, I mean, you really
We're just gonna throw it in the oven. So I cheated a little bit, but it's just because there's so much going on around this time and people in and out, and you never know what the weather's gonna be. So the house can get hot if you're really cooking stuff. So we're kind of it's gonna be good. I mean, it's gonna be great. Like I everywhere I got everything is reputable. So I stake my reputation on what I ordered, but I'm not gonna be making it myself.
I understand that, but I'm kind of glad I'm skipping your fraud of a Thanksgiving now because I expected everything to be handcrafted and
Yeah,
tailored to your distinct
yeah.
skill set.
I have done that a lot
A
over the
lot.
years, and I'm just taking a rest tomorrow.
Okay. Well, Tyler, you're a absolute defender of Thanksgiving food. I'm not a
Oh,
huge
yeah.
Thanksgiving food fan. You've been eating Thanksgiving subs here in the studio. You've been
Yes, I have.
we
Those
still see the
from
cranberry
Publix.
sauce.
I've been getting that one, and then there's another sort of sub shop that makes one that has
Oh,
dressing on it too.
where is this?
Um, if they throw us some money, I'll
Okay.
let you know.
We'll talk about it
Camera.
after the
We'll,
show.
we'll talk about it
I
off
need to know
camera.
about this though because
Ty-
I hit that Publix one up a lot.
Tyler, he forgets about where he gets all the subs, Jeff.
Yeah.
But
We just need that sub money.
we
Yeah.
just get that sub dollar there.
Yep.
But are you eating Thanksgiving food tomorrow? Or are you going to be
I
able to
absolutely
get a
am.
plate? And what's going to be on that plate?
So I'm not sure I'm not sure if we're having turkey or ham, which one we're doing, or if either. I know we're going to have some cornbread dressing. My sister requested vegetable casserole. I assume we'll see sweet potato casserole there. My grandmother
Dangerous thing to say
that
too
it's
loud
a
around here.
dangerous topic around this studio, trust me, but I love it with the brown sugar and pecans on top. That's the way to do it. Get the marshmallows out of my face. Um, my grandmother makes it the best. But probably some green bean casserole too, some mac and cheese.
It sounds like you're going to be at least 10 pounds heavier when I see you on Friday.
Absolutely.
Okay, and proud of it. Let's see here. Charles digging some Thanksgiving sandwiches around town. We got Smuff who says it's Christmas followed by Easter and then the first college football Saturday. So, college football is about to be winding down here. The Iron Bowl happening this upcoming weekend. We'll have coverage on TNR on Friday. We'll have a Meltdown Friday. It'll be a lot of fun there. Let's see. We've got a lot of you wishing everybody a happy hump day here, which for some people, hump day is a holiday compared to Thanksgiving.
It was when that commercial was popular.
Hump day. Yeah, it was a very, very popular commercial. There's a lot of videos of people going to those like drive-through zoos you can go to, and like a camel comes up
Oh yeah.
to the thing, and they start yelling "Hump Day" at the camel. And I'm just thinking, this camel's got to be a weird experience for them that everyone yells the
Yeah.
same sort of cadence at them. They don't know the
Somebody
commercial.
just doing the guess what day it is, guess what day it is, guess what
Exactly.
day it is.
Let me give you a day that I'm bummed about, and it is a day we will be working, and it's not bummed because we're working. It's bummed because I'm bummed out about because I really liked Black Friday. I like the competition of it. I like that the fact that if you're persistent enough, you can get a really good deal. But it feels like Black Friday has been diminished over the past couple of years.
Yes.
And especially when it comes to like giant TVs,
There's no deals and no competition.
there's no deals, there's no competition. Doorbusters are sold online now, which is the opposite of what a doorbuster should be.
And they started like 2 weeks ago.
It
like
started
pre
to,
Black Friday sale.
and then you're gonna have Cyber Monday
Yep.
as well. That's going to be going into a lot of those Black Friday deals that I just think Black Friday is sort of dead now.
Yeah.
And
It's definitely watered down.
definitely with like video games as well. I used to always look at sort of the video game pages of all these different retailers, and they're offering the same games that they've been offering now for years.
Like $1 off.
Well, it's like you can get Grand Theft Auto 5 for $19.99, and it's like
That's the same price it is like on the PlayStation Store right now.
Yeah.
it's like
No discounts, no nothing.
Didn't that come out in 2012?
it came
Yeah,
out in
2013.
2012, 2013. It came out for the 360 and the PS3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've actually owned this for the PS3, the Xbox One, and the PS5. So I've been playing it for a while.
I know for a fact that when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out and some kid is like, that's what I want for my birthday, or that's what I want for a holiday, or that's what I want, that they're going to have some relative buy them a copy of Grand Theft Auto 5, thinking that's the latest Grand Theft Auto.
yeah.
Absolutely. It
Oh.
happens all the time with Christmas presents. I remember I had a PS1 when I was young. Because PS2s were still pretty expensive. And 1 year for Christmas, older relatives, they just
They
don't
don't know.
know. They gave me a PS2 game.
Oh,
And I was just like, oh,
What-
like, see, if it was the reverse where like I had a PS2 and they gave me a PS1 game, no problem.
right.
I'll just play an old game. But with this, it's
That
just
hurts.
like brand new Scooby Doo game. Can't do anything with it.
Oh, that hurts. What did you do? Did you take it back, or did you
No.
hold on to it?
I held on to it for a couple years until I got a PS2, and then it's mystery solving time.
I gotcha.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to accomplish your mystery solving by showing your patience there. Um, Smuff, no sales on Tyler's Lobster Adventure. I don't think Tyler's Lobster Adventure is something that is getting a lot of the half off treatment, but
You may have it at a Steam sale.
maybe.
I could see it going on Steam sale for sure.
A lot of the best video game deals are direct to console, direct to computer, direct to you don't have to worry about physical retailers when it comes to a lot of the deals that are being cut. So once again, Black Friday is just a little bit of a bummer to me now because I feel like there's just not as many deals as there used to be.
It's very different than it was 10 years ago
Yeah.
or 20 years ago.
No, I feel like you don't get penalized as much waiting until basically the end of Christmas to do
Yeah.
your shopping.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about one of my holiday traditions for Thanksgiving, and that is watching the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Now, we come at this from three different angles, okay? I really like the movie, but obviously it was out before I was born, and I sort of grew to love it more and more over the years, watching it on home video release. Jeff, you were right there, pretty much in the thick of things, maybe a few years later of being able to consume this thing in a more
Yeah.
regular basis and knowing all about it. Tyler's never seen Planes, Trains, and
What?
Automobiles.
I love John Candy and I like Steve Martin as well.
Oh, you
Have
gotta watch
nev-
it then.
I've never seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles though.
He's never seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. We've got to change that at some point. You
Yeah.
talked about how you've got no new movies to see. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
That's true. Now would be a good time to watch it.
You can watch it for free right now. It is streaming out there. I forget on what
I
streaming
think it might
platform.
be on Amazon. I just watched it a couple.
Did you say
nights
Pluto
ago.
the other day?
It's on Pluto
Yeah.
TV.
I think it's on Amazon too.
It's on Amazon
It's
as
on
well.
something that
I don't think it's on Amazon because I think I went to
It
Amazon.
might
and
be on Amazon for like rental.
It's on Amazon as long as you have like the Stars and Showtime package
Are
or
you
something
sure?
like
Because
that.
I just have Prime. There's something.
Jeff, I promise you.
Okay.
I promise you that I'm probably wrong.
It is.
Let
It
me
is
see.
streaming on something that I have a subscription to, but I have a subscription to almost everything.
I'm checking my Prime.
Watch
right
with
now.
your Paramount Plus subscription.
Paramount Plus. That's it. Because I just got that. That it came free with commercials with a Walmart Plus that I just signed up for. So
You
Okay.
can
That's-
rent
that's
it
where I
or
watched it.
you can watch it with Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Smuff's there as well. It's on Paramount.
yeah, that's right.
But Smuff says, by the way, you need to fix that today, Tyler. You need to get
Okay.
on Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. But
I have it on Blu-ray. If you have a Blu-ray player,
I've got a PlayStation, so same thing.
you can watch it on his PlayStation too.
yeah.
Okay. That's a callback. So we're going to try not to completely spoil Planes, Trains, and Automobiles
Okay.
because Tyler's in the room and
Yeah.
I don't want him to
Got it.
just be completely undone here. So we
Yeah,
won't get
sure.
into that. But let's talk about this. It's clearly the best Thanksgiving movie ever made.
I think it's the only Thanksgiving movie, isn't it? I mean, it's the only one in my rotation.
Well, we actually looked into that
Yeah,
today.
great.
Fantastic Mr. Fox from Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
I've
Um,
never seen that one. Or
what
have I?
it
Oh.
called Paul Blart, a Thanksgiving movie, but
Stop.
that's
I do
Black
li-
Friday.
I do
so
like that movie.
You can go either way with that.
This is where I lose control of the show. Suddenly it turns into a Paul Blart Mall Cop review instead of a Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
love that.
review.
Hey,
Sorry.
when he goes and plays Guitar Hero at the
Yeah.
arcade,
There's skateboarders and BMXers in it too. So
that's true.
it's got my love just for that.
Okay. Anything else you want to throw out there, Tyler?
There's that Thanksgiving horror movie that came out.
It's called Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know why I can't remember the name of that one.
It's from Eli Roth. It's actually good. It's like a Scream light experience,
Oh,
but it's
It's-
good.
I might
Okay,
like it then.
okay, a
It's good.
Thanksgiving themed Scream.
A Thanksgiving themed Scream that plays a little bit like Krampus that came out a few years ago
Oh,
because it's
okay.
got
I can get
it's-
behind that.
it starts off in a shopping center with everybody trying to get Black Friday deals.
This is like Chopping Mall.
Yeah.
Did you
we
say
get-
shopping mall?
Jeff, I appreciate you being here today. That is going to do it, everybody. No, let's get back to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, okay? Which is, it brings us back together, right?
Yeah.
You are the Dell right now to my Neil. That is what you are. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the release date of this, November 25th, 1987. It was written, produced, and directed by John Hughes. It stars Steve Martin and John Candy, for those that do not know. As Neil is a marketing executive and Dell is a shower ring salesman, which if I'm ever traveling and I look at there's a shower curtain and I see rings, I immediately think of this movie for some reason.
Yeah.
They meet in the worst of ways as their flight is diverted, and then they go on a 3-day odyssey of misadventures trying to reach Chicago in time for Neil's Thanksgiving Day dinner with his family. This is back at the heyday of comedies when a comedy could go into a theatrical distribution system and slay, and it did just that. Cost $15 million to make this movie, and it made $50 million.
Wow.
So it did really, really well. It was a commercial and critical success right out of the gate. The film's first cut was 3 hours and 45 minutes. Would you watch a 3 hour and 45 minute
Absolutely.
version of this?
I bought that 4K Blu-ray just to get the deleted scenes, and they're all by themselves over to the side, and most of them are VHS quality. So
Is this a movie you try to watch every single Thanksgiving, or is it something that you actually will watch anytime
I
you
would probably
slot
watch it anytime. It's got a lot of rewatchability.
What do you think is the secret sauce to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles of making it work?
It's got that straight man, funny man going for it, and just all the travel. I think people can relate to that. Uh, I've thought about that movie a lot over the years when I used to travel a lot for work, and fit right in there.
So Steve Martin plays the straight man in this?
Mhm.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he
All
plays
right.
the straight man, and he's excellent at it because you'll notice his frustration is actually the funniest thing in the movie. I mean, it's like
He plays frustrated very well.
when
Yeah.
he loses it,
Yeah, the
it's hilarious.
Yeah, with the car rental.
So think of like Tommy Boy, right? Tommy Boy's
Yes.
another great
Yeah.
classic movie that follows a similar formula. And this is a little bit different than Tommy Boy in that I think this one has a little bit more heart to it. I
Yeah,
think this one they both do.
this one does it tugs at your
It
heartstrings
tugs at
pretty.
the heartstring. It's got that sort of 80s montage towards the end, and you start to really feel connected to a lot of the adventures that you went on with
Yeah,
these two guys. And I just think it is an incredible movie where if you look deeper at it, right? Surface level, it's just a buddy funny movie.
yeah,
But if you go deeper into it, there's some real acting chops on display here from Steve Martin and John Candy.
yeah,
Both of these actors really dive deep into their roles, and it's very believable even though the things keep bad things keep happening to them.
yeah,
It's very believable and very human, the entire
yeah.
experience, and
Very
you can
relatable.
you can look at it as a comedy, but it also is very sentimental,
Yeah,
and it really paved the way for a lot of John Hughes's work. So, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a perfect Thanksgiving movie. If you are looking for one to watch that maybe you're like Tyler, you've never seen it, definitely check it out. The film is featured in Roger Ebert's Great Movies collection. Ebert wrote that it is, quote, perfectly cast and soundly constructed, and all else flows naturally. Steve Martin and John Candy don't play characters, they embody themselves. That's why the comedy, which begins securely planted in the twin genres of the road movie and the buddy picture, is able to reveal so much heart and truth. I didn't mean to come on here and get all sentimental about Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, but it is a movie that actually makes it hits all the
yeah,
senses.
it definitely does.
And Kevin Bacon in it for about 30
Yeah,
seconds as well.
there's a lot of cameos in it of people that were famous then or became famous. I noticed that a couple nights ago when I watched it. I was like,
I guess this can be an underrated play for 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon then.
yeah,
Definitely can. If you want to really, if you're playing that on a long road trip and you want to throw out Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, nobody will see it coming. They'll challenge you, and then you'll end up being right, and the rest of the car ride will be silent, but you will have the victory. That's
I
exactly
I
right.
like using X-Men First Class for that game.
Ooh, that's another
yeah,
fun one too. He plays
yeah,
the baddie in that one,
Yeah.
and he's really, really good in that. And
Yeah.
he has
yeah,
a really interesting death sequence. Like the
Yes.
way he dies is so artistic. Anyway, I love Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I also love X-Men First Class. So if you love Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, let us know. We'd love to hear your appreciation for that film all these years later, as it still holds up so well.
yeah,
Every time I put on a watch, I think of the movie because at one point they're they're out of money and they're trying to figure
yeah,
out what to pay with and they're using their
yeah.
watches. It's very, very funny. Okay. It is now time for what I'm probably most excited for here on the show. But first, I want to get to a chat check-in with Tyler, see what the chat is saying.
All right. Smuff says Grumpy Old Men covers Thanksgiving and
Oh, that's a good
Christmas
one.
if you're looking for
Love
another
that movie.
Thanksgiving movie. He says the company is American Light and Fixture Shower Curtain Ring Division. So,
Yep.
Yes.
he also says this is Czechoslovakian ivory. I assume that's
Yeah.
a reference from the movie.
Yeah.
He also says that Due Date ripped off Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yes, this movie created a formula that a lot of movies
Yeah.
ripped off, but I actually really like Due Date, and I don't
Okay.
look at it as some sort of cheap carbon copy. I really do enjoy that movie, and I'm a kind of a sucker for these buddy road trip, everything
Love
goes
buddy
wrong
movies. Yeah.
Yep.
and you don't really get them anymore,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
And then Jody says every Thanksgiving he watches The Godfather Part 1 and 2.
Okay.
Is that weird? Think so?
Well, with the amount of time you have on
Exactly.
Thanksgiving to digest your food, those are 2 long movies, and Godfather 2 quite often considered maybe the greatest sequel ever made, and Godfather 1 and 2, the only 2 movies to win Best Picture as a movie and a direct sequel. Um, so no, it's not weird because you have a routine and you have a lot of time to be able to absorb all of that.
Yep.
So go for it. I like to play video games during Thanksgiving. Typically when I have a little bit longer stretch, I like to play narratively focused video games where I feel like I can really pour myself into those games. And I'm trying not to do that tonight because I have plans tomorrow. And the last thing I want to be is groggy after having played something narratively all night long there on the video game console. All right, we're going to play a little game right now. It's called Pick Your Picture. This is a real fun one. Before we pick our picture, we encourage you to pick our favorite dental team located on Grants Mill Road. Dr. Jeff, Dr. Brian, and Dr. Nolan over at Alabama Dental Associates. They will make sure that all those casseroles and turkeys and everything else you chow into over the next few days are taken care of as they provide all sorts of services when it comes to staying on top of your dental health. Whether you have that nagging toothache or you need to get on top of those regular cleanings, they're there for you. Maybe you're new in town and you need to make sure you have a dentist on standby. Reach out and try Alabama Dental Associates for yourself. They're accepting new patients now, can help you feel at ease about all of your upcoming dental procedures. For more information or to make an appointment, call them 205 956 8977 or visit alabamadental.com where they look forward to seeing you. Okay, here's how it works. I've got Theater A and Theater B.
All right.
You're being forced into one of these theaters right now to spend the rest of your pre-Thanksgiving day watching one of these films.
All right.
I'll give you a bucket of popcorn, I'll give you a soda, whatever you need, but you're going to be in there completely alone or maybe with one of us, depending on what you choose. And I want to hear your reasoning for why you chose what you chose.
All right.
You've played Pick Your Picture before, so you know how it works, and we look forward to everybody in the chat giving their thoughts. Are you going into Theater A or Theater B? We're going to start with our very first selection. Both of these movies are from 1987.
Good year.
Both of them surround military operations.
Okay.
Both of them are still referenced to this day, and both have a lot of machismo on screen. Are you going with Theater A, 1987's Predator, or Theater B, 1987's Full Metal Jacket? What are you going with, Jeff?
I'm gonna go with Predator. I'm a big Arnold Schwarzenegger fan.
So going with Predator.
Yeah.
There's a lot of muscles in that movie
Yeah.
for sure. The meme of the bro handshake with like them coming in where it looks like they're arm wrestling.
Yeah.
It's from the movie Predator.
Yeah.
And if you've never seen Predator, but you're aware of the meme, it can be very jarring for young viewers who are like, oh, that's what that's from. Tyler, are you going with Theater A or Theater B?
It's tough. This is tough. I'm gonna go Full Metal Jacket because I've seen Predator more recently.
Okay. You like
Yeah.
Full Metal Jacket a lot.
I do. I like a lot of Kubrick movies, but I really do like Full Metal Jacket. I think it's one of the best war movies in my opinion.
So Russell is going Predator, Charles is going Full Metal Jacket, Boomer Full Metal Jacket, Smuff Full Metal Jacket. I am also going Predator. I've never seen Predator on the big screen. I've never seen Full Metal Jacket on the big screen, but I'm in more of a Predator mood today. And I think both of these selections, you can't go wrong with either.
Yeah.
Okay, Theater A or Theater B for our second choice. And y'all are going to notice a running theme, which is I've already written these, and you guys have talked about a lot of the movies that we're going to end up having on here. So
All right.
are we going with 1988's Beetlejuice in Theater A? or are we going with 1988's Big in Theater B?
Yeah, that's a tough.
Because they're both B movies
Yeah.
from 1988.
I love them both. I would probably go with Big though. I've got a soft spot for Big, but I
Why do you,
also love Beetlejuice.
why do you love Big so much?
I don't know. I just watched it all my life, and it's just that kind of that growing up, coming of age thing, and there's just some funny stuff in it. Adults being kids.
First movie to make over $100 million, first comedy movie to make over $100 million that was directed by a female is
Yeah, I
Big.
think I remember that.
And I think it was Penny
Yeah,
Marshall who
yeah,
directed it. And Big works if you watch it at the right age when you're young,
yeah,
and it works if you watch it at the right age when you're older
yeah,
and wiser.
yeah. That tracks.
It really works well, but I don't know, it's him dancing on the the piano, the
Yeah,
keyboard,
Tom
that's
Hanks, man, he's just good. So
he's got a great filmography for sure. Tyler, are you going with Theater A in Beetlejuice or Theater B in Big, both from 1988?
Beetlejuice, one of my favorite movies ever.
yeah,
I've never seen it on the big screen, only seen Beetlejuice on the big screen. So I'm gonna go with Beetlejuice.
I think Big is winning the vote, but it's close. It's
yeah.
neck and
It's
neck
very
here.
Great
close.
movies.
Um,
Tom Hanks versus Michael Keaton. They're both great. I love almost all both of his movies. So.
so far we've seen no landslide victory for either of the four options that have been thrown out. Let's move on to this
Okay.
next one. Theater A. Are you going with 1989's Uncle Buck? Or Theater B, are you going 1989's Weekend at Bernie's?
Oh man, two other great movies.
I wanted to test you on
Yeah,
this.
I mean that's tough. I'm gonna go with Uncle Buck, but I'd gladly watch either one of those, and frequently watch both.
Is it because we've been talking about John Candy so much that you're like leaning more that direction?
Ah, Uncle Buck is kind of like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It's just one of those movies I watched over and over and really love John Candy. And sad that we don't get any more movies from him. So I would just throw Uncle Buck on any time too.
I love the bowling scene from Uncle Buck when she gets close to the pin and he's like, if the goal was to get as close as possible without knocking any of the pins
Yeah,
over, you'd be world champion.
yeah,
And that's just such a great, endearing moment where he's trying to make the kid feel good about being a
yeah.
horrible bowler. Tyler, are you going with Theater A, Uncle Buck, or Theater B, Weekend at Bernie's? Both from my birth year, 1989.
I'm gonna go Uncle Buck. I used to watch that a good bit when I was a kid because it would come on Nick at Night sometimes, and I really like John Candy.
Uh, we see another back and forth here in the chat of not a clear knockout, but it looks like Weekend at Bernie's is tied actually with Uncle Buck. It looks like these are two that are going neck and neck yet again. Maybe Weekend at Bernie's is a slight favorite here. I don't know, but I feel like with the current administration in the White House, we've all been living Weekend at Bernie's every single day. So give me some Uncle Buck. Okay, next question here. Are you going with 1990's Home Alone or 1990's Goodfellas? Both of these movies starring Joe Pesci.
That's true. They're both good movies. Also, I'd probably go with Home Alone. I'm a little bit more. It's a lighter movie, I guess. So
Yeah.
that's it. But I like Goodfellas, even though it's not my favorite genre.
With John Hughes, once again behind Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, without the success of that movie, there is no Home Alone in
Yeah,
1990. And you can see the DNA of Home Alone in Planes, Trains, and
yeah,
Automobiles in a lot
absolutely.
of different ways.
Yeah,
And the fact that John Candy pops up later in Home Alone
yeah.
2, not Home Alone 2, but Home
Oh
Alone,
yeah, yeah.
um,
The
You're
Polka
thinking of
King.
Trump.
the Polka King, the fact that he's in there, it is those movies are just so emotionally connected.
Yeah,
And you'll have people that around the holidays, they're like, oh, I got to watch Home Alone, got to watch Home Alone. And that's the way I feel about Planes, Trains, and Automobiles
yeah.
around Thanksgiving. All right, Tyler, are you going with Theater A, Home Alone, or Theater 2, Goodfellas?
I love Home Alone, one of my favorite movies to watch around this time of year. But Goodfellas is just one of my favorite movies of all time. I love that movie, so I'm going with Goodfellas.
Great answer there, or I guess I should say a good answer, because it was Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Can we just watch the
Good
scene with?
answer, fella.
Can we just watch the scene with the painting
Am,
and they're eating?
hold on, am I a joke to you? You think I'm funny?
Yeah, yeah,
Do I
yeah,
make you
you're fine.
laugh? Do I amuse you? Anyway, Tyler did tense up just like Ray Liotta in that scene, by the way. Another back and forth here, by the way.
Okay.
No clear decisive
Yeah,
winner
you
in the
picked some
chat.
good ones on both sides.
I'm glad that there isn't an absolute killer here, as Smitty is in the chat to save Home Alone's chances there. So there we go. Okay, next we've got 1991's Silence of the Lambs in Theater A, or 1991's T2 Judgment Day in Theater B.
That's easy. T2 Judgment Day. That
Easy for you. This may be the
that-
first
that is-
landslide.
Yeah, that's probably my all-time favorite movie. So,
Silence of the Lambs or T2
and I
Judgment
didn't
Day.
really care for Silence of the Lambs.
Makes it easy. That's the first one Jeff's like, oh, this is a breeze.
Yeah.
Tyler's struggling, though.
This is tough.
You really like Silence of the Lambs?
I do. I really do like Silence of the Lambs, but T2 is easily the best Terminator film that has ever been made or ever will be made.
The
dang.
Terminator, while you're thinking, the Terminator franchise very similar to the Alien franchise, in that the first one and the second one totally different in that one's a horror movie and one's an action movie.
And both very good.
Both very good.
And then a bunch of crap after.
Both totally different sort of vibes. A lot of crap after.
Yeah.
But is there a hope that we get a Terminator resurgence the way we've gotten sort of an Alien resurgence here lately with some actual quality movie? Alien Romulus, which I don't know if you've seen yet.
I haven't seen it yet. I keep
Still,
meaning to.
still my favorite movie of the year that I've seen so far is Alien Romulus. And so the Terminator franchise, I'm hoping they can pull out an Alien Romulus. They haven't been able to over their past, like,
I wouldn't hold my breath, but it'd be a pleasant surprise.
you want to talk about, like, I'm a fan of the Halloween franchise, messy franchise with the timeline and with everything.
Yeah.
Terminator's an absolute mess.
Yeah. And I want to love all of them, but it's hard for some of them.
All right, Tyler, have you made your decision?
I have. I've never seen T2 on the big screen.
Oh.
Not that I've seen Silence of the Lambs on the big screen either, but I did see Long Legs in theaters, which is kind of same vibe. I'll go with the T1000 on the big screen.
Yeah.
I thought this would be the first decisive, like everyone going T2 moment.
Yeah.
Not the case. Silence of the Lambs getting a lot of love in the chat. So
it's good on the big screen. And I saw it in 3D when he remastered it in 3D a few years ago, and that was worth it.
And you have Boomer in there doing lines from Silence of the Lambs, while I imagine
it's pretty quotable.
Wearing a Dwight face mask there from The Office with the baloney he had on his face or whatever?
Oh, it was part of the dummy, the CPR dummy.
Oh, it was part of the CPR dummy. I remember that now. Yeah, yeah, that was good. Okay, you're a big Office fan. Too.
I am.
Next one. Theater A is showing 1992's Reservoir Dogs. Theater B is showing 1992's The Mighty Ducks. Both of these movies with animals in the title, both from 1992, both made by Quentin Tarantino. Okay, so no, I'm kidding. That's the first lie you've heard on the show today. The Mighty Ducks, obviously not directed by Quentin Tarantino. Jeff.
Mighty Ducks, easy. I haven't seen Reservoir Dogs. I'm not a Quentin Tarantino fan, though. None of the films I've seen I really liked. So probably a hot take, but
it depends on the crowd you're playing to here. We're going to see if this one divides the chat. I would think Reservoir Dogs is going to lead the chat. But
I would think so, but not for me.
Tyler, which one of these do you want to see in the theater right now as we speak? This isn't about which one's the more cinematic match. Which one do you want to see?
It's tough for me because I'm a big Tarantino fan. Reservoir Dogs is probably my favorite that I've seen.
I think it's my favorite Tarantino movie. I love Reservoir Dogs.
Really?
It's really good.
When
was the last time you watched it?
Maybe 4 years ago.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't too far.
It wasn't too long ago, but
I love Reservoir
it wasn't
Dogs.
very recent either. More recent than I've seen Mighty Ducks. I'll still go Reservoir Dogs.
You're going Reservoir Dogs?
Yeah. Yeah, I just love bank heist movies.
Okay, let's see
that's
here.
Jewelry store heist.
Another one that's not a clear sweep, as Smitty's in there wanting to see Mighty Ducks, but Reservoir Dogs definitely leading the chat.
I think Mighty Ducks is a more feel good movie.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not sure Tarantino's ever made a feel good movie.
Yeah,
maybe why I'm not a fan.
Yeah, two very different movies in tone, but they both have animals in the title.
That's true.
Here we go. Theater A, 1993's Demolition Man.
I just watched that. Go ahead.
It's like I know you.
Yeah.
or 1993's Mrs. Doubtfire? Which one are you going into the theater to see
Yeah.
right now as we speak?
That's
Going-
tough. Those are both good movies, but I'd probably go watch Demolition Man again. It's one of those repeat movies where it's so stupid that it's good. So I could go in and watch it.
Sandra Bullock in Demolition Man.
Yeah,
And she's good. Sylvester Stallone, obviously. Wesley
it's not going to win
Snipes.
any award, any Academy Awards. But
No, a very distinct look to that
Yeah.
movie for sure.
yes,
Demolition Man or Mrs. Doubtfire?
I like Demolition Man, but I don't know. I think that one would be better to see on the big screen, so I'll go with that. But I love Mrs.
Yeah,
Doubtfire.
it is
That's
a great
like
movie.
that's like a comfort movie for
Yeah,
me. It's like
absolutely.
anytime it's on TV, I'll watch it. Doesn't matter what part it's on.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm trying to remember the line because I don't want to butcher it because it's one of my favorite lines in the movie. And right now I'm drawing a blank, but it's when Pierce Brosnan gets hit and she goes, or Robin Williams goes, it's a drive-by fruiting. It's a
Yes.
drive-by fruiting. And I think, was it fruiting or I think it was, but
I think it was.
it was so, it's just so perfectly
Yeah.
delivered. It makes me laugh every
Robin
single
Williams,
time.
so funny.
Pierce Brosnan having to play sort of
Yeah.
the straight man
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
And the reason I picked these two is because, you obviously have Mrs. Doubtfire, which is Robin Williams dressed as a woman. And then, I can't think of anything that's more demolition to a man than becoming a woman. So that's why those two movies got picked.
Yeah.
And they're in the same year.
Yeah.
I always try to tie them in. Okay. Next, Theater A. Now, this one I think should be a slam dunk. Okay. Tyler, you got something for us in the chat?
Yeah, we got the full quote from Smuff. It's a drive-by fruiting. Was disgruntled waitstaff. Did you not tip them?
Thank you, Smuff. That was a public service because that is my favorite. If I could have that as a text tone every time I get a text, that's the line I hear. I would love it. But that's such a great line. Okay. This one should be a slam dunk. This should be the first fatality
Okay.
of what we have here. Okay. I'm going to start with Tyler. Tyler. It's very simple.
All right.
Are you going with 1994's Street Fighter in Theater A?
Okay.
Or 1995's Mortal Kombat
Oh,
in Theater B?
Okay. So Street Fighter, that's got Jean Claude
Yeah.
in it.
It
Yeah.
does.
Man, I love that cheese in Street Fighter, but Mortal Kombat, greatest intro movie
Yeah.
song ever made,
Yeah.
bar none.
Okay.
That techno intro just
Okay.
goes so hard.
This
Yeah.
should be. Once again, I'm gonna say it should be a fatality.
I'm a huge fan of both movies, but I might go with Mortal Kombat.
Well, you're a huge fan of 1994 Street Fighter.
I do. I love Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Movie is awful.
I know it is. I like a lot of awful movies.
Yeah.
I'll be the first to admit it. My palate's pretty out there.
The amount of time you have on this earth is limited.
I know. I've
And-
probably already watched it too many times.
Street Fighter, that's gonna be a part of your Judgment Day reel when they're like,
Probably.
"How did you spend your time
Yeah.
on Earth?"
Yeah.
You
Probably
watching
right.
Street Fighter. Okay. Is it a fatality in the chat? Is everybody picking Mortal Kombat?
Let's see. Russell says neither one. Jody says Mortal Kombat. Smuff says they're both awful movies. Yes, that's the point. They are both
Yeah.
awful
They're
video
awfully
games.
good.
Charles says Mortal Kombat, and Boomer says Street Fighter.
Of course, but
All right.
Street Fighter.
And Smitty just says he'll go see the Mighty Ducks again.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad somebody's giving Street Fighter some love.
We have a couple more here. Are you going to 1996's The Cable Guy or 1997's Liar Liar?
Those are both really good too. But
They're different, but
Yeah.
both have Jim Carrey,
yeah,
both a year apart.
I feel like Cable Guy is more memorable. So I think I'm going to go with that one. I
Okay.
mean, maybe I should go see Liar Liar just because I can't exactly remember it. But Matthew Broderick being the straight guy and Cable Guys, it's good. It's good chemistry there, I feel like.
You're not lying about your choice?
No.
Okay. Liar
Pen
Liar.
is
Yeah,
blue.
yeah,
You're right. Exactly. Tyler, to me, this is another TKO, but are you going to see The Cable Guy or are you going to see Liar Liar?
This is a tough one for me because Liar Liar was one of the Jim Carrey movies just that I grew up watching on TV all the time. I really liked that one, but I really liked Cable Guy when we reviewed it. That was just so funny to me, and it's very memorable. So I'm gonna
it's
go with Cable
bizarre.
I'm
Guy.
going to go with Cable Guy.
Bizarre movie, but it's funny.
You can
It is very bizarre.
You can check out our retro trailer reaction of The Cable Guy up here on the channel if you're interested in that content, that look back at a movie that was very misunderstood at the time and drew sort of a cult following from those that really defend it as being high art. I think Liar Liar's the better experience. It's the more fun film. To me, it is the more memorable film. And I think that Jim Carrey gives a outstanding human performance in Liar
Yeah.
Liar, where he is playing sort of the same tone for the most part throughout all of The Cable Guy, which is creepy guy that wants to be
Right.
a friend, but is actually someone you don't want near your property.
I'd
So
be up for watching either one. But also neither is an Ace Ventura either. So
this may be the
That's
first.
why you gotta go with Sonic the Hedgehog. It's the movie that's keeping him in the business.
Was going to ask you about that. Liar Liar pretty much got a clean sweep until Smitty came in and broke it up. I feel like there's always going to be somebody who's like, no, it can't be a total winner here, but Smuff with another great line from Liar Liar.
What's up, Fletcher?
Your cholesterol, anyway, it's really good. Okay, last one.
all right.
Jeff, this one is either going to really test you or it's going to be a slam dunk for you.
Okay.
I tried to make something that would somewhat test you.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with this one. Do you like 1998's The Waterboy?
Yeah.
You do like that movie?
It's not my favorite Adam Sandler movie, but I like it.
Okay, I think I know what you're going to go with then. Your second choice is 1999's October Sky.
Oh, that's one of my favorite movies. So totally different tones there. It depends on the mood, but
That
Probably.
is the Jake Gyllenhaal
Yeah.
where he makes a rocket,
Yeah.
right?
That is correct.
Okay.
I love that movie.
So people may be saying like, how are these movies
Yeah.
similar in any way?
Yeah, tell me.
They're both boys with dreams. Is what they are.
Okay.
They're both boys with dreams.
Yeah.
And both with parents that don't understand them fully
Yeah,
in those
yeah.
dreams. So if you think about it, The Waterboy and October Sky actually have more in common than you
That's
think.
true.
Plus, Adam Sandler and Jake Gyllenhaal both still producing movies today.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining Bobby Boucher building a rocket now.
Yeah.
I like that. I'd go watch that.
So you went with October Sky?
That's that's tough because it really is going to depend on your mood. If we're
Well,
just saying
now, we're talking about right this
now,
very moment. That's the only
if
way
I had
to
to
play
go
the
watch
game.
one of them. I recently watched October Sky and I enjoyed it, but I think I'd probably go see The Waterboy just because it's a little lighter weight,
Okay.
not in the feels as much.
Okay. I'm actually that's a little bit of an upset for me because I thought for sure you'd go October Sky.
It's tough. It's a tough call.
But you just recently watched it.
Yeah, I did.
So that's why you need the palate cleanser maybe of The Waterboy.
Yeah.
Tyler, which one are you going with?
I saw October Sky in school way back. It was fine. I wasn't crazy about it. The Waterboy, top 2 Adam Sandler movie for me. I absolutely love Waterboy. So that's what I'll be going with. I can pretty much quote the whole movie.
Mr. Deeds is your number 1, right? Or am I
Ooh,
wrong about that? You
Mr.
said top
Deeds-
2.
Yeah, Mr. Deeds is probably number 3.
Oh, okay.
I'd probably
Okay.
say number 1 is either Waterboy or Happy Gilmore,
Yeah,
maybe.
Happy Gilmore is my favorite.
Yeah.
Anybody think Happy Gilmore 2 is going to be any good?
I'm worried
Nope.
about that, man.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's going to be trash. It's going to be straight to Netflix, I
Yeah.
think. I think it's straight
But
to Netflix.
I would
I
assume
did like
so.
Hubie Halloween, so
Hubie Halloween,
Yeah.
yes. Tim hates
I
it when I
know.
bring up
I love
Hubie
that movie.
Halloween.
come over, we'll watch Chopping Mall and Hubie Halloween.
There's going to be a sequel to that as well.
To Hubie Halloween?
Yeah, Hubie
Okay.
Halloween 2.
Is that confirmed?
Yeah, it's in development.
Netflix just keeps writing him checks, so he's going to keep up.
Yeah.
Every time I hear about how well these movies do on Netflix, I question the American public.
Yeah.
And their willingness to click on anything. And I think, Jeff, you're part of the problem.
Yeah, I could be.
There's going to be a lot of disputes around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And that's why we've brought you in for real. It's your family advice here, okay?
I don't think the majority of them are going to be about Hubie Halloween.
No,
Maybe at my house.
just here on the Meltdown, do we hold movie grudges for sure? But I brought you in because I feel like you're a pretty even keel guy.
Yeah.
You're a pretty calm guy.
Most of the
You're a
time.
keep the peace guy.
Yeah. Only up until I get backed into a corner.
Right. And I'm backing you into a corner asking you for your advice.
Okay.
Because around Thanksgiving, there's a lot of great things. There's also a lot of stress.
Yeah.
And that stress can boil over at the dinner table. There's the Center for Counseling and Student Development at the University of Delaware, and they're speaking out on this issue. And they've been talking about it mainly when it comes to that generational divide between parents and college age kids. And director Cynthia Diefenbeck observed that this Thanksgiving may be the first time that many first year students have returned home since starting college, saying, quote, as great as it feels to sleep in one's bed again and eat a home cooked meal, the shift from significant independence back to parental supervision can cause a rub. Students and parents may have to renegotiate their roles, rules, and expectations of each other. How do you best recommend dealing with multi-generational drama at the dinner table around Thanksgiving? Do you have any sort of advice that you can lend to others who may be going through that sort of similar thing?
So you're not saying what to do or what not to do. You're saying in general, you're saying if there's already an argument, how to
Correct. Well,
diffuse
I,
that.
I would actually, I kind of like the idea of starting with how do you prevent the argument in the first
Well,
place?
just avoid politics and religion at all costs.
You think so?
Starters, yeah,
Think that's the way to go? Politics and religion
yeah,
and Hubie Halloween?
yeah,
Um, when you're in that conflict, though,
yeah. That's even more difficult. I mean, because I feel like you can avoid those arguments just with a little common sense. And so either when you get into that argument or that drama awkwardness, then somebody's either provoking or they're just totally ignorant.
yeah, I think that
You tell tell a Norm Macdonald joke.
Norm Macdonald joke.
Yeah,
That's one way to go.
yeah.
At least that would last the entire Thanksgiving meal to where
Well,
no
by
one
the
else
time the
could get,
joke's over, they would have forgot what they were arguing about.
no one
So,
else could get a
well,
word
that's
in.
what I'd go personally.
I came in because the light was on.
I don't like
Did you
how,
retell my joke? Or
no, I did not.
go to him on YouTube?
No, I did not. He had no idea that that was.
Oh, okay. He didn't know
Wait, is
the
that
thing.
one you like to tell?
That one and the one about the frog getting a loan.
Those are good.
Yeah.
I love how much you guys are bonding. But I would like to remind you, you're my brother-in-law,
Right.
and you know, it's. I'm glad you guys are having fun here. Um, but you know, feel like I feel like I've lost control of the conversation here.
That's all right. You can
Norm
reel it back
Macdonald,
in.
rest
Yeah.
in peace. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding. I think very much that Thanksgiving will test any family's patience,
Yes.
and
You can.
it requires calm, cool, collected people to be in the bunch to make sure that those that are polar opposites don't have a literal meltdown
Yeah.
in front of their family. And especially coming off of election season
Yeah.
and a
A lot
lot
of people are pretty raw.
a lot of frustrated people. I just think it's good. I think the most important thing you can do is have the right invite list, right? Some people you can't exclude,
Yeah.
but if you can, if they are on the chopping block,
Yeah.
make it happen.
Just
Aunt
put them in different
Karen,
rooms. Hey, you get it. You get to eat at this table, and you can eat at this table.
correct. Tyler, any advice for those out there that are looking to have a drama-free holiday from your perspective?
Just try to avoid those hot button topics. I would say even college football can be a divisive one.
People
At
are pretty
least
raw
it
about
has
that
been
right
at my
now.
family Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
We've got some extended family that are diehard Auburn fans,
Oh yeah,
but
the Iron Bowl too.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like most of my family diehard Alabama fans. So once they start talking about football, it spirals out of control. But, I would say don't cut anybody off. Don't do that. I've seen a lot of that going around, whether, it's, your Whoopi Goldbergs or just random journalists promoting that you should be cutting off, just contact with your family during the
Yeah.
holidays.
That's not the answer.
That's not the answer. That's not healthy for that relationship or for anyone personally. The holidays can be a lonely time. Don't isolate
Yeah.
yourself.
It just makes things worse.
Absolutely.
You know, I kind of feel like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles here, the person, in that I kind of judged y'all for being annoying about Norm Macdonald. And then now I feel sentimental that we've all come around. And it's like, you know what? I wouldn't have made it to the end of the show without you guys. And that's kind of what that whole movie's about.
Yeah.
And Tyler, obviously, having never seen the rental car sequence,
Yeah.
there's a reason the movie's rated R.
Yep. One scene.
Just one scene. It would have been maybe a PG
I
movie
think so.
had that one scene not happened. So I
Good
can't
scene.
wait to see your reaction to that
Yeah.
because
My initial thoughts is it's like the the car dealership scene from Dirty Work back to Norm Macdonald.
Okay, and we're back here right where Norm Macdonald has completely thrown the show out of rhythm. That's going to do it here for the Meltdown. In all honesty, I'm very thankful to have you in my life, Jeff.
Same
Tyler,
here.
I'm very thankful that we are here collaborating on Meltdown 2.0 in a way that hopefully we're able to connect with loyal Meltdonians for a time to come. And for those that are maybe on that long car ride looking for a way to connect even further with some real dialogue happening here in the Culver studio, you can check us out in podcast form, as you'll be able to download and listen to us on your favorite podcast platform. I personally am a Spotify guy, so that's where I get all of my podcasts, and we are right there for the listening adventure called The Meltdown. Want to remind you as well, with all of these games taking place on Thanksgiving and throughout the course of the weekend, there's no better time to sign up at MyBookie than right now. MyBookie.ag, you're also going to get that huge bonus going into the casino by using promo code next round. Make sure you sign up for that first time deposit bonus where you can bet and play absolutely anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie. Jeff, thank you once again for your time,
Yeah.
and I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hate that I'm not going to be able to make it,
We'll miss you.
but if plans fall through and you get a late call from me,
Come on.
don't be completely surprised.
All right.
Tyler, you go load up on your first plate right now if you can.
All right, I'm on my way.
We will have plenty of content out for you throughout the course of the weekend, and we appreciate you being a loyal Meltdonian, and we'll see you again on Friday live, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern.